Welcome. You join me on a special episode here. My name is Richard and behind the camera there is Tom, and we're about to take on a rather significant driving challenge.
See some blizzard conditions,
which we're going to be driving directly into, and it constantly goes up and down, left and right. This is closing in rapidly. Stop making it difficult. There's just much darkness around us. This behind me is Lizard Point, the most southerly piece of land I can drive to in mainland Great Britain. And we're going to drive from here, and we're just down the road from Land's End, over to the most easterly point, Lowestoft, and then over to the most westerly point over here, this lighthouse on the west coast of Scotland, and then up to the most northerly point at Dunnet Head, which is up near John O'Groats. And we're going to do this all in one go. Now, we're going to leave in a minute, drive overnight, a 1,250-mile road trip to prove that electric cars are really rather capable and rather good. We must be using the latest and greatest electric car. I hear you say, well, no, actually, this is a very capable car. It's a 4-year-old Tesla Model 3 long range, but it has already covered over 235,000 miles. So it's well run in. It is not at its peak and it's not at its prime. So can this car complete such a journey without too much drama? Well, mechanically, so far, this car's been brilliant. It's on original motors, battery, bodywork, glass, original brakes even. This car has not put a foot wrong so far in its life. It's had a few sets of tyres, a couple of pairs of wiper blades, cabin filters, and we've maintained it with suspension bushes at the front, suspension bushes at the back, and we've done the rear motor bushes quite recently. So just maintenance, just the rubber bushes that you can expect to wear out. Otherwise, it's stock, it's original, and it's never gone wrong. Well, the little speaker under the front bumper, but that was £50. That's the thing that makes a noise when you go backwards. That's the only thing that's ever gone wrong on this car. So let's put it to the ultimate challenge now. We're about to leave. It's coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the biggest drama here we're going to have is the weather. It's a bit chilly and a bit windy. It's the 18th of November. And we're not doing this in the most optimal summer conditions, driving through long hours of daylight and warm temperatures where we don't need heating on. Largely overnight. It'll be dark in about 2 hours, and then obviously heating on, lights on, and then driving into northerly, freezing cold winds with snow and ice. So this is far from being optimal. How are we going to get on with this car? We're about to find out. We're going to do the journey non-stop and see how quickly we can do it. We've got to be cautious and safe. And obviously, if weather dictates we can't do what we need to do, then we may have to make alternative plans. But how are we going to get on doing this in an electric car? Will it be able to make it? Are electric cars any good? Can they handle high mileage? Can they handle long journeys? Well, that's exactly what we're about to find out. So, me and my colleague Tom will set off shortly. But before we do, I want to make you aware that whilst we do this, I want to raise money for a couple of charities because 97% of our audience are male. So I've got a couple of men's health charities I want to, we've put links in the description below and they're in our bios and socials. But firstly, we've got the Prostate Project, which is in England and it's run by volunteers. Volunteers with this project mean that it's got barely any overheads. So just about every single penny you donate will go directly to the cause. Of our audience, of that 97% men, actually 47% are from outside the UK. So we've also put a link to a page from Movember, and hence, do you like my tash? The Movember is more of a global movement, so if you're outside the UK but watching this and appreciate the challenge we're about to do, maybe you can put in a couple of dollars. Okay, coming up to 2 o'clock, Lizard Point, Cornwall, let's set off. There we go, we're off, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m, let's go. So in case you haven't met Tom, here he is. He's normally holding the camera, but luckily Tom's far younger than I and is able to stay awake far longer than me. And he's a very good driver, so I'll take the first stint and we'll probably just switch around every time we stop, Tom, whether we're charging or need a toilet, we'll just keep switching around.
Yeah, it works.
We'll have a snooze in the passenger seat when we need it. We know the key 4 points of the British Isles we're going to, but in terms of charging, we'll just see how we go, basically. So I think, ideally, from here, we're going to go to Amesbury, which isn't even that far from where I live, to be honest. That put me back where I started off this morning. Yeah, remember, we left home this morning, so we've already done over 200 miles before we started this. But anyway, this is about this trip. Yeah, you just remembered, reset the trip. We're going to reset a trip now. And we've already done, hang on before you do that, 12 miles. So the trip was going to be 12 miles short. We've got quite a lot of this trudging through A roads just to get to the main roads, and I know people will comment on this video saying, yeah, but your average speed was only 49 miles an hour, you know, come on, we're not joining the motorway or freeway and driving at constant speed here. Ooh, 60-hour limit, let's go. Oh, some lovely bends here, Tom. We're licking round now. We are 48 minutes into the journey and we've only covered 20 miles, but at last we are now hitting the A30, so we've got some faster roads and we can make some ground. Okay, we've just passed Stonehenge and we've been driving for exactly 4 hours. It's 6 o'clock now and we're pulling into the Amesbury fast chargers, and I've got 5% battery left, so that's enough for one stint. The ironic thing is here, I can see the Tesla chargers over there, they're all empty. We're being delayed by the queue that is waiting to get into the petrol station, which is a bit frustrating. So I'm going to try and scooch past the outside of this as soon as I'm allowed, and then we can get to our charge. And the good thing is we can go off and have our dinner rather than standing at the pump holding it out in the cold, because the temperature's dropping now, 6 degrees. So yeah, let's get it plugged in. The quickest thing to do now is not really charge the car that deeply. We're just going to sort of bunny hop because they charge faster at the lower states of charge. But we're both hungry now and we want to go and eat, so we're just going to basically go and eat as quick as we can, get back in the car, off we go. Right, here we are, plenty of chargers available, even though these are a mixture of both Tesla and non-Tesla cars using them, but there's quite a lot of chargers over the other side of the car park here at Amesbury as well. So let's park up, plug in, off we go. 1601, in case you want the proof, 5%. Right, you take the picture, Tom, because people don't believe us. And we've done 212 miles since we left the Lizard. So I think that's fair enough. There's a one stint drive. There you go. Right then, it's getting cold now. So that first stop at Amesbury, we were there for 26 minutes in the end, unplugged at 68%. So we just ate our food, got back to the car, unplugged and set off. We're now in Newmarket. It's now just gone 9. So that was 2 hours, 40 minutes for the next stint. So that 26 minute charge at Amesbury gave us another 2 hour, 40 minutes of driving. And we arrived here at 4%. Lovely, going nice and deep, and then charging for as little time as possible because it charges fastest at this range. However, it is getting cold now. The weather forecast looks like the snow's closing in. And what the UK likes to do at night is shut roads and cause massive diversions. So from here on in, we probably won't go quite as deep into the kind of lower states of charge because we've got to build a bit more buffer into it, given nighttime road closures and potential for snow and diversions and disruption, all sorts of stuff. Okay, we just unplugged from Newmarket there after meeting a very nice chap called Chris with 58%. Went to get back on the dual carriageway, closed. So exactly what we said, sudden road closure. So this is where now we're navigating around some back roads. Freckenham is where we currently are. All the navs ways, everything here is trying to go back to that dual carriageway, but it's just been closed off, so there's no chance of doing that. So the Tesla nav's great for kind of being able to see a good clear mapping on screen, but I'm also checking on Waze and other maps an alternative route, but this is costing us time, definitely. We're suddenly now going around back lanes in Suffolk at 9:35 at night, so yeah, leaving it a bit of a buffer is a wise choice here, and this is just causing lots of delays and extra time in the car. Annoying. So this is Lowestoft, Nest Point, as far east as you can get, and we're meeting up with Paul here. Paul, you live around here?
I live just outside the town, but yeah, I've lived here for I don't know 30 odd years now probably.
And the first thing you told me is welcome to the home of
the bird's eye potato waffle
over there,
and the chicken dipper. I think they do peas here as well. You know. So come on,
dippers, potato waffles. It's all happening right at the furthest east point of the UK.
11 o'clock on a cold Tuesday night.
Yeah, so we got here just after 11, about 5 past 11. So we're just saying a quick hello, really, and we're going to turn around. Next stop, we're going to pop off to the chargers at Norwich while we kind of go to Lou and make a plan for the northwesterly journey up to Scotland. Scotland, next stop, really, other than a couple of more charges on the way and a bit of blizzard.
And a pea.
That's it, yeah. So, well, at least I know where the waffles are made now. Good to meet you, Paul.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Thank you.
See you soon. Righto, it's now 2:45 in the morning, so a bit of an update. Tom's been having a little sleep, so I'll let him gradually wake up. So since leaving Lowestoft, we went to Norwich GridServe, and we arrived there at midnight and had a quick charge top up there. We were there for 18 minutes, took it up to 60-something%. After that, we've been sort of cutting across Suffolk, past Kings Lynn, and it's been right aggro. We've only just got to here Newark services, so we're back on dual carriageway at last. We've basically had a 2.5 hour drive, or I've had a 2.5 hour drive, well, some other than that, across A roads with loads of roadworks, loads of variable speed limits, road closures. Just suddenly the road's closed and none of the navs know about it, so you suddenly have to stop and look for a new route and go back the way you just come and go round another way. Loads of animals. I had a deer jump out on me in the road, but luckily good headlights, good tyres, laser sharp reactions. We spared the deer's life. Although, to be honest, if we hit it, we only had to break a headlight or damage miles there, and that would have been the end of the trip and possibly miles. So lucky escape all round. There's quite a lot of animals around as well. So from here on, we should be able to make pretty good ground. It's 4 degrees here. Still a northerly wind, it is bitterly cold, but as you can see the chargers are plenty available at nearly 3 o'clock in the morning, so not much going on here. So I'll let Tom wake up. I think it's time I had a nap, and he has the next session. Onwards and upwards, literally northwards. Let me show you something. I do disagree with how Tesla seem to have recently renamed a supercharger site, or a number of supercharger sites. So Newark services, good. Burger King supercharger, where's that? How am I meant to know kind of offhand where that is? Holiday Inn supercharger, it could be any Holiday Inn. And this is a new thing. I think they've renamed a load of stuff, and it often just doesn't make any sense. So if you're just looking at it like this, you know, I've got to get the map and scroll out and kind of figure, right, okay, so the Burger King supercharger is here. Okay, right, I'd rather kind of have a location name, please, so little request. Right, so as we're at Newark, we're just sort of getting stuff sorted out here. Let's try and skip this one here and go from Newark straight to Scotch Corner. Now, Scotch Corner is a V2 charger. It's a bit slower and it can get busy in the daytime, but it'll be empty at night, and that'll be the next one. Then we're going to cross the Pennines, so I'm starting to, well, I'm expecting to see snow here according to the forecast, so let's skip this next one. We're only at 40% now. I think by the time we get to sort of 60%, okay, let's skip that one out. Then we will be able to carry on. It's now 5 AM and this is Scotch Corner in the snow, but it has stopped snowing. However, for the last 2 hours, it was snowing heavy, very wet, very slushy. It's been hovering around 0 to 1 or 2 degrees, so horrendous driving conditions, horrendous efficiency. I'll tell you what, these tyres are great. These Flex Climate, perfect for this, pushing the water away, and obviously now it's snowy and slushy. We're about now to cross over the Pennines, so we're just doing a bit of a top-up charge here. Use the facilities again after another couple of hours in the car, and we'll carry on. God, it's cold. Okay, bit of an update, and it's not really going so well at the moment. So you last saw us in the early hours this morning in Scotch Corner with snow, and we were driving through blizzards. We made it across the Pennines. It was snowing, but we made it across, and we were in Gretna Green for breakfast this morning. So that was at about 6:30, 6:45, and actually that marks just under 24 hours since we left home, not the start point, but like home. And we'd actually covered over 1,000 miles, so about 1,050 miles since leaving in 24 hours. So that's pretty good going, but the constant delays we keep coming up against, i.e. there was a car accident on the M25 that caused the delays there, London. Half the roads around Suffolk were closed, so there's massive diversions, and we're fumbling around in the countryside late at night on A and B roads, so that lost us time. Then we had blizzards. That's caused us to be late into Glasgow, which is where we are now, and therefore we've just been in traffic relentlessly. In fact, we've just been sat on the ring road for probably like an hour, even longer than that, so we just swung off into the Tesla service centre so I could use the toilet, if I'm honest. We plugged in for a little bit there, actually. It's bumped us back up to 75%, but now we're moving, actually, so hopefully we can get out of Glasgow soon. So we're after 9 now, we're 9:30. We just haven't really gone anywhere for the last couple of hours, but we've had a lot of adverse conditions. We knew it was going to be easy to do it in November and not August, but you know, to have blizzards in November is a bit more unusual, and yeah, it's just all been stacked against us. We've lost probably 4 hours of our journey time. Of course, as soon as I turn the camera on, we're moving now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe us.
Typical.
We could be sat around having breakfast for 4 hours, but that's not the case. So let's see how we go. I've been feeling a bit dejected, but we might cheer up in a bit. So let's get out of the town and we'll see some nice countryside then. So just look at the scenery. We just come up through Tindrum, and off to the left here is the Glenorchy farm cottages that I've stayed at before, and absolutely beautiful. There's a road just down here somewhere, and they're nestled in amongst these hills. So hi to Tristan and Fiona from Glenorchy Farm. You'll see a bit about that in a couple of other videos, and I highly recommend staying there. They haven't sponsored me, by the way. I just think it's really cool. They deserve it. Guys, let me give you a little bit of an update. So we're just coming up to 2 o'clock now on day 2, so just about 24 hours, just under it's about 10 to 2 at the moment. And we've actually done over 1,000 miles. We've done 1,013 miles, largely on small roads, not just all on motorways. So I think we've done remarkably well. You last called us in Glasgow, we were umming and ahhing about coming out to this most westerly point. Well, we decided to do it. We are on that peninsula now. It goes along here, and it's a few miles down this road here, about 18 miles down, I think. And we'd have to go down there and come back again. But it's a very, very small and winding road, and it constantly goes up and down, left and right, up and down, left and right. And it's not making Tom feel brilliantly well, whether he's driving or passenger. On the normal roads, you've been absolutely fine, Tom, but you're just not feeling it. And I totally get it. You know, we've been going a long while now, well, 24 hours or more constantly on this. The second factor is that weather there is closing in on us. We've been really lucky today. We've had some absolutely beautiful, glorious sunshine, driving up over Glencoe. The scenery has been spectacular, sunshine, blue skies, fresh, 2 degrees, but absolutely stunning. We also stopped off at the Skyfall location and took a few pictures there. It was a sort of 10, 20 minute, half an hour-ish diversion. So we did that as well. And it's been beautiful. There's the sunshine that's disappearing. This is closing in rapidly, and we're feeling it now. This is snow. Now, remember at the beginning I said we've got to put ourselves first. We're in do we drive 45 minutes out on this road, making Tom feel more sick and potentially getting caught in snow, only to have to come all the way back this way? and not make it and stuff like that. It's a tiny winding road, and that's closing in quickly. Yes, it's sleet, isn't it? It's sleet, and that's not assaulted. I mean, we stood here for a while, not a car has come past either. So what we're going to do, we have to just call it quits here. But we are so close to Wesley Point. Will you let us off, please? Because look, here's my map right now. It's 13:48, and we're right out here. A beautiful area, I have to say. We've got the ferry over, so it's called the Coram Ferry. So from Glencoe, you start heading towards Fort William. There's a little ferry you get on. It takes like just a few minutes to get across, and then when you drive down onto this peninsula, and it's beautiful. But yeah, I think we're going to have to call it a line. This weather, you know, we've got to. You're not feeling great. There's no to get down there. It's 45 minutes. There's an hour and a half of constant moving around, up, down, left, right. It's not worth it. And this is now sleet/snow coming down. This is snow coming down. Okay, I think we'll bail out of here fairly quickly then. Do you want to be passenger or drive? Should you want a passenger with the window down? Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, we'll catch you guys in a bit. We're going to bail out and we're going to start heading north to the Dunnet Point if we can. But we'll see how we go. We've got to be careful here with the snow. We're just charging over there, but I just spotted this, an electric coach, and I just been to a really nice lady over there. She said, "Oh yeah, these are running all between, you know, the major cities in Scotland, and they're just running, you know, all the time, day in, day out." Right, I'm going to see what Tom feels up to doing. Poor lad, he doesn't feel well. He's trying to put on a brave face there, but he's not feeling good. Those winding roads going up the peninsula weren't good as well, so. In fact, you were starting to go a bit funny, and then the snow was coming down. Yeah, let's see how much more of this journey we can do. We're trying. So I reckon it's because I look like Chopper Reed that Tom's decided to toughen up. All right. We're going to soldier on. Let's see how far we get. Yeah, well done, mate. Let's have a good go. Give it a bit of grit and see how far we get. So we're currently now leaving Fort William. That's really cool, that lady gave us £2 for the charity. And we're heading towards Inverness now, so we've got an hour and 38 minutes on this section. We're going to lose a light pretty soon. It looks like the snow's holding off for the minute, so the road here is clear and okay, so fingers crossed we make a bit more progress. We will make it, one way or another. The car's fine, isn't it? It's us that are braking. Yeah, it's us that are braking, so yeah. Cars are more reliable than us, yeah. All right, let's do it. So we're not far from the finish line now. We were due to be there at about 9 p.m, but the snow started coming down again. A little bit of a reprieve at the moment, but sometimes there's a pretty good blizzard going on. So even at the final hurdle, again, the weather is playing a big factor in this. So you might be wondering all through this, why on earth are you doing this in November? Well, it all originated because the 22nd of November, in a couple of days' time, is the 15th anniversary since I started the company, Alzheimer's Limited, the RS and the EV bit. And we wanted to have like a kind of celebration, an open day, and make an event out of it. And so we said we'd do this road trip, make some money for charity, and then have that as a kind of finish line of the whole road trip. Make that the 22nd, so 15 years of Alzheimer's Limited. It's also 10 years since I got my first Tesla. So in a couple of weeks' time, it's also 10 years since my first Tesla, and here I am later on driving one through all sorts of conditions on a silly challenge. So it just seemed fitting to do that. And the third aspect was that by the time we finish this trip, this car will be on 238,000 and something miles, we think. And that is the same as travelling from the Earth to the Moon. So our car we call Miles to the Moon. It all kind of ties in. Obviously, we've been a bit unlucky that the weather for November in Great Britain has been a little bit more extreme. It's been mild until last week. In fact, the crazy thing is, on Saturday, I was outside having a beer outside a pub beer garden. It's really quite pleasant, in a jumper, but no coat. Come Monday morning, freezing cold. Now we're away. It's been blizzards and all sorts of conditions. I mean, this trip really has thrown everything at us. And even at the last minute now, we've got ice and snow. Luckily, the snow's paused for the minute, so we're trying to make a little bit of ground here, but it's very slow going again. However, we're determined to do it. We're getting there. We are nearly there. So it's probably now going to be nearer to 9:30 by the time we get there. This would normally be a 60 miles per hour road, and I can do 34, 35 at the moment. And we left at 2 p.m. yesterday, so it's going to take about 31 hours. We'll give you an update when we're there. So, yeah, it's been quite an adventure, this one. I hope we've made it exciting enough. It wasn't quite meant to be a sort of weather battle like this, but it's definitely been an adventure. We've raised some good money for charity already, over £3,000 for the prostate project. So thank you to everyone that's contributed for that, and hopefully you can see we've been trying to work quite hard for those contributions, so we really appreciate it. It's been great to meet some people when we've been charging and going along. We've got to also put a couple of bits of thanks out, really. Stall Motorworks, a company in Poole, he knows a bit about Teslas, and he did some rear suspension bushers on Mars the other day, gave it a check over, and we also did a couple of the rear motor mounts, the rubber bushes. I mean, they're just rubber bushes of flex, but there was a bit too much flex, so after 235,000 miles, they were changed. We've got to give a shout out to Hankook. I mean, Hankook gave us these tyres to trial a year ago and gave us a totally honest verdict. And we've been driving them all summer going, yeah, I mean, they're pretty good, these are. They're pretty good value, they do a bit of everything, good in the wet. We're now testing them to their full flex climate, to the max flex. We've had everything, tons of standing water, currently snow and ice. And we've put them through everything, and these tyres, I have to say, have just been fantastic. Big thanks to Sign Envy as well for doing all the stickers on the car without charging us labour for that. That was cool, thank you for that. Well done to Tom.
Thanks.
Big road trip for you, isn't it? And you felt a bit grizzly earlier, and you've done a great job. You've been driving in the snow and the ice as well, and you've done really well. Thanks to our colleagues at work, so Joe, Serge, Lewis have all been covering at work and getting things ready for our open day. And of course, a big thank you to all our friends and customers out there. Okay, here are some snowflakes coming down again. I'm going down a steep hill in this ice, and so I'm going to concentrate for a minute. Can you see the skid marks going off there? Yes, I'm going to concentrate on this one. They saved it just about, see they hooked it in, but yeah, this is a, what does that gradient say there? Yeah, steep enough.
13.
Okay, I'm just going to take it nice and steady down here. You don't know when there's ice. 13%, keeping low gear. Right, I'll speak to you at the finish line, hopefully. Stop making it difficult. Just a couple of miles from the finish line now. Beautiful, sunny summer evening to do this. 9:27 p.m. This is it, done it head, car park viewpoint. Boy, it's taken a bit of work. I'm not sure quite how much of the viewpoint we're going to be able to appreciate. There's just much darkness around us. But that's it. This is as far as we can drive, I think. That's the end here. There's a lighthouse. So that is it. Yeah. Most northerly point of mainland Britain. There it is. Right, should we go and get our picture at the front of that then, Tom? I think we better leave the camera inside the car, but we'll go and get that picture.
We'll go.
Should we brave it? Wow! It is blowing a gale. Okay, well, let's try it. Let's go. I can't even open the door. Oh, God. We made it. Tom. Amazing. Holy moly.
Cold out there.
Oh wow.
Never felt anything so good.
And yet you sit here looking at that pit of stone and you wouldn't know it.
No.
I hope that comes across on camera how amazingly windy and freezing cold it is. It's going to be something really spectacular there, isn't it? We can't see it. It's a shame we didn't come tomorrow morning, but we had to do it now, really.
Yeah.
So now it's 9:32 p.m, so that's 31 and a half hours since we left Lizard Point, and we've had all sorts of challenges along the way.
1,229, so plus the 12.
Plus the 12 since we've got, so 1,231 miles covered. No, 1,241 miles covered, averaging 288 watt-hours per mile, which isn't really too bad considering there's lots of heating for supercharging. It's been bitterly cold the whole time, and just spray, slush. I mean, the last 20 miles there have been slush. The 80 miles before that were then snow and ice again, so unbelievably difficult conditions for doing this. November was never going to be the easiest, but it was a particularly bad week and unlucky. However, it made it a bit more of a challenge, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Right then. Shout out Miles.
Yeah,
Faultless.
Not a problem.
Not a thing.
Didn't even blink.
Not a thing.
Oh no.
Windscreen washer fluid low. Yeah, that was brimmed, but the amount of salt on the roads. Well, that's about it for that video, or at least that bit of the video. We just got to drive back now, and on the way back, hopefully we're going to do some stop-off points, a little bit more leisurely. Although we're still only going back in a day and a half. What are we doing? Back a bit tomorrow and a day after that. Yeah, so a day and a half, so 2 days to travel back. Very leisurely. So if you've been watching this all the way through, following us on X or Instagram, then thank you for doing so. I hope it's proved entertaining and interesting. We may as well film the journey back. Maybe another video along the way, maybe it's part of this video, in which case ignore this, there'll be another end bit in a bit. But if this is the end bit, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting us. We'll see you again soon. I guess comments below, should I keep the chopper reed tash? All right, let's go home.